welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Jade Shinyu and I help people reclaim back their power physically, mentally and spiritually. Now today we're going to be talking about a very exciting and interesting topic, and that is basically the main ingredient that many witches throughout history and modern day witches use to amplify their spells, and this is basically called sorcery signatures. So I myself use this time and time again and I always sort of have, and it always works like a charm, and it's possibly the most powerful thing in my opinion to use within a spell. Basically what a sorcery signature is basically your DNA. So this is why it's extremely common to see witches using people's hair, bloods, even sexual juices, you know, semen, etc., nails, teeth within spells, because basically this is your energy. So this is the most powerful way to make some sort of spell work and intention impact you or another person. Now, before I go forward, I do not advocate black magic, as I have said many times before in my other videos, so please do not even go there. The threefold law is true, so whatever you do will come back on you times 3. Basically it's the law, the universal law of karma, so just don't bother. So bearing that in mind, the best way, I mean, I don't use other people's DNA, but I use my own. So a really effective way to do this is basically, if you're doing a spell for yourself, so let's say, you know, a wealth spell for example, you want to do a money spell, say you're using a jar, so you wanted to do a jar spell, what you can do is, with your intentions and whatever other herbs and things that you're going to use, the best way to do this is to put a piece of your DNA within that spell, because this is like an energetic blueprint to the universe. So if you were doing, you know, a spell basically all to do with attracting money, abundance, wealth, whatever it is, it's imprinted in your DNA. So a very basic money spell, for example, could be putting some money within a jar, so like a £10 note or whatever it is, £20 note, with honey, because raw honey is especially powerful in attracting things, and it always has been. And for a woman, the most powerful signature that you could use is your own menstrual blood. So there's different like tiers when it comes to, like, you know, sorcery signatures, your DNA blueprints, and the most powerful one used in magic is blood. So if you were to mix your bloods with the honey and the money, and then protect it and like write wealth on it or something, you know, a piece of paper, write your intention of how much money you want to manifest, and then put that jar, seal it safely, put it in the earth or whatever, or put it in your home somewhere that's safe. You know, that's a very effective way to manifest money, and they do work. But as long as you have a high frequency, otherwise other things can go turbulent. Please check out my other videos about manifestation, and there's certain dangers and all that sort of thing, to make sure that you're fully protected when doing these sort of things. The occult is no joke, and it's definitely something that's not just like, oh, a fun little thing to mess around with. It is powerful, it is potent, and you really do need to be fully protected and have good intentions whenever you are doing any form of magic or witchcraft. So with that being said, with signatures, so basically your own DNA, what they do is, yeah, they massively amplify the spell. So a lot of people will struggle saying, oh, my spells don't work and this sort of thing, and normally it's because they just don't have enough energy or intention connected to you. So when it comes to different levels of using different types of signatures, the top one is always going to be blood, and this is why unfortunately in black magic and dark occultic magic they do blood sacrifices. So with demonology, when blood is involved for the negative, for black magic, there'll always be some sort of sacrifice. And the more pure and the more innocent the blood, the higher the currency. So basically blood is energy currency. So with that, this is why people will unfortunately sacrifice like animals, and then in more severe like satanic rituals they will actually sacrifice humans, and the worst being obviously children and babies, which does happen unfortunately. So this is why this is like the greatest, like highest payment. So it's kind of like if you imagine, like, you know, a mouse will be like £20, a cat will be like 50 quid, you know, a human will be like £1,000, and then a baby will be like 1,000,000. You know what I mean? Like, it all has different rates of energy connected to it. So this is why with demonology, people in black magic will use this sort of payments to do, you know, for their intentions to be met. Normally always power and selfish desires or whatever they want to manifest for themselves. I'm telling you, you do not need to do black magic to manifest blessings in your life. Always use the lights, because if you dwell in darkness and you try to take shortcuts by inflicting pain and using other people's blood and whatever it is, you know, for your own benefit, for your own selfish desires, it's always going to bite you back in the ass. So do not even go there. And I shouldn't even have to say that. But people get ideas, unfortunately. So with that being said, the second most powerful thing will be probably a man's semen. Oh, and with blood as well, menstrual blood is supremely powerful. So a woman's menstrual blood will be like literally just below a child's blood, if not equal. So this is what I mean by doing good magic. So for a woman, it's commonly known with occultists that they will always fear a menstruating woman in a coven, because they know how powerful, or what power that she has access to, because of her menstrual blood, because she can do very powerful spell work, because she has that within her. Every month she releases that liquid gold. So even Aleister Crowley, you know, I don't like him. He was a very dark, satanic and Freemason. He would always stress how powerful and magical a woman's menstrual blood was in spell work. But he also would use child sacrifice and all that sort of shit as well. So do not admire that man or listen to the shit that he says. But also other things that are very powerful. So another thing is obviously a man's semen. So obviously men don't have a period, but with their semen, that is literal life force energy. So that as well is very sought out after by witches and wizards and people in occultic covens, etc., to use for magic as well, for good and bad. And then another thing is, of course, hair. So never give a witch your hair, because they can always use that against you. But then if you are obviously a white witch, you can use your own hair, or even your partners or family members if you want to do healing spells on them. If you want to do a healing spell on yourself, you can even do this on pets, using pet hair and that sort of thing as well. So, you know, the possibilities are endless, quite frankly. But it's always to do with your own intentions and energy. That's what's important, in conjunction with the DNA, the energy of that being or yourself. Because with your hair is connected to obviously you. It holds memory. It has your whole imprint of energy on it. This is why even when you have like a lab test done with your own hair follicle, it can literally reveal your whole health just in a strand of the root of your hair. I had this done myself, and I learned all of my allergies and intolerances and all my deficiencies that I had. So, you know, it tells everything about you. It literally holds your whole essence, your whole blueprint. Where the blood is literally what connects you to your soul. That's why the blood is so more powerful than hair. But the hair is also very effective and potent when doing spell work. And then, of course, other witches and wizards have also used urine. This is a common thing to use in typical traditional witches' bottles, when they would use a witch's bottle to protect themselves, to basically use it as a scapegoat. Let me know if I could actually do a video on that if you want, because this is a very old but truthfully good way to protect yourself from like evil eye and people inflicting bad magic or bad energy onto you, is to create your own witch's bottle, which needs to have your DNA within it. So basically all the negative energy goes to that instead of you. And another thing that people use is, of course, fingernails. So fingernails is again quite similar to hair, but people use it for like different uses typically. Fingernails are normally good. I mean, I've never actually used fingernails, to be honest, because I tried to grow mine, so I don't like cutting them off. But people will normally use this, from what I've researched, for like focus, intentional like spells to do with creativity and being focused on something. But I can't say how good that is because I've never used it. However, I imagine it to be quite similar to hair. Another thing used in magic is also saliva. So if I don't have my menstrual time, again, I use my saliva a lot on spells. And it kind of seems gross, but it works, trust me. Just know that this is a part of you. Like, your DNA is you. So there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be like grossed out over. It's literally precious, sacred, and divine, because it is you, it is your energy. The same with every human being on earth. So if you look at it from a different perspective, try to take away the stigma of it, of being, you know, gross or, you know, dangerous, it can be very, very beneficial and effective with many things. So please bear that in mind, don't fear it. So if you do want one-to-one advice or guidance, I do offer one-to-one oracle or tarot card readings. I'll link that in the description box below, as I always do, or you can visit my website, thegoddesscoven.net. I have testimonials of people that I've helped on there as well. If you want to open your third eye and learn how I opened mine, I do have a free ebook, so you can also check that out. I also have a chakra cleanse, a very powerful cleanse that you can do to really, really help open and clean your chakras physically, mentally, and spiritually within 7 days. So that will all be linked in the description box below. Until next time, my loves, like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And until next time, lots of love, lots of light. Ahimsa.